to judge.
Right.
But, here you go. You got yourself, Mike Anderson, over here in the eastern side of Pennsylvania. I didn't know who you were. I was like, who won that? Because I was expecting you to go there and,
right.
You get these other guys that show up that, I know I've talked to. But it's nice to see somebody, I don't know if you're a local racer there or wherever, come there, run against these type of caliber guys that did show up and beat them. So it's like, it's good. It's good for the sport when something like that happens because now it kind of motivates you. It's like, hey, my equipment ain't as bad as you think it is.
Right.
And I can still run with these guys.
Right. Yeah, like I said, we pretty much stay within a 45-minute distance from home. Good Hope Speedway is usually our home track out in Ohio. I bought a new kart this year and a motor, and like I said, we have one set of tires for the whole year, and we decided to go out and try our hand, and it was a 2-hour ride. And it turned out in our favor, so you'll probably see us at the rest of them.
Well, I'm going to try and get to – I won't be at the next one. From what I understand, State Line doesn't have a PA system at all, so
yes,
I won't be there. I'm going to try and get to – I've already spoken to Brian about it, tried to get to a few of them, or at least one or two of them here this year. The last one I did was at Blairsville for him, and definitely enjoyed myself, but, stuff happens at at racetracks or whatever with the situation we ran into last year at Blairsville. But I'm all about supporting Brian. Brian, especially in this year, everybody can see a difference in the promoting aspect from Brian. Brian has stressed to me that he really hit it hard this year. Last year, not so much. But it's great to see. I messaged him Saturday while the race was going on. I think it was an intermission or something. He texted me back and told me they had 26 guys show up there at Pittsfield, which is pretty good for out west there.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, Brian has a good thing going. He's a great guy. Got a good series going right now. And I look forward to the next 5 races I think we have left there. So we'll see what happens. He runs a good show. Like I think we were there maybe 3.5 hours for the whole night and we were done. So it was great going in and out before the rain came and
and he did it right.
He's doing big things this year.
And he did it right with only 5 classes. You don't need 17 classes or 30 classes. Now, you have the Burst Money Series that I work for. I support 100%. 16 classes actually is just the right amount of classes. These places you go and you sit there for 8 to 12, 14, 16 hours. I have 30-some classes, which Brian just showed it. I mean, if the weather wasn't there, he wouldn't have been pushing so hard. I know he wouldn't have. But being that he still got it done in that amount of time is absolutely fantastic. So
it was great.
I wasn't there to interview you, so we'll do this just like we're at the racetrack, coming off there, taking a checkered flag, and pulling to victory lane. And who do you want to thank for one, everything going on? You show up, you win yourself $500 for going on vacation. So I'll leave the time to you, whoever you want to thank, sponsors and what have you.
First, my sponsors, Casey's Best Shine and Bilo Gas are the only 2 sponsors we have. Thanks my kids, the wife, my mom. My dad's my biggest supporter. He's there. Anything I need, he helps out. He's probably the biggest one there. Everyone in general, fans, anyone that comes out and supports us, it's great. I still can't believe we went and won, actually. It's great.
Hopefully that kind of opens the floodgate with you. Don't spend all that $500 on vacation. Get yourself another set of them those Burst tires then too.
Yeah, I will for sure.
So, well, Mike, thanks for joining me, man. It's good to kind of meet you here on the phone. I haven't met you in person yet, but I'm sure I will throughout the year. I'll make my way out west there.
All right, I hope to see you sometime.
Again, man, thanks for joining me on Racer's Edge this evening, and you have a good rest of your vacation, and good luck if you race this weekend.
Will do. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem, Mike.
Take care.
That was Mike Anderson The winner of the senior clone division picked up a cool $500. Some other things that went down at the Rush race, the junior class. The Rush Junior was Mitchell Rex. He was out of Youngsville, PA. He led all 20 laps of the feature. Then Julia Badger, Ison Shirley, and Dan Moorhead rounded out the field there. And a special shout out, listens to the show every week. Was actually kind of nice to see him in Victory Lane there. A picture of it anyway. Corey Wetzel won the $100 prize in the. What do you say at, Corey? I know you're in here. Chat. Is it the Clone Sumo? But now it was a Clone 400 class. Brian wants to thank everybody at Pittsfield Karting Association. And I want to thank everybody for dealing with him and his, I don't know, he was kind of put through the ringer there a little bit, got kind of testy, whatever, but, you know, remember, when you guys, this is just like a tidbit here before we go to commercial, when you have a issue, okay, and I had stressed about this before, that don't run up and start screaming at, you know, at this case it was Brian. Brian's doing the best he could with what was going on there. I wasn't there. I can only go by what I was told. If you talk to guys, you know, calm and cool, collectly, stuff will get done the best of their ability. So just remember that next time you guys have a problem at a racetrack, or if there was a call you were on the right side of, God forbid you're on the right side of a call, you're going to flip your lid. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and I'm going to come back, and we're going to talk about the Soki Series, Southern Kentucky Burr Series at J&M Motorsports Park. And we'll have Trey Settles joining us. He's the winner of the Junior Pro Division. So just stand by for about 30 to 40 seconds, and we'll be right back.
Mike Burris established Burris Racing in 1976 with an initial product line that was made up of pistons and rings for the McCullough and Italian engines, Mikuni carburetors, and motor mounts. Today, Burris Racing is best known for the American-made Burris tire, which wins major events across the globe. The business has grown from its humble beginning and now has a 13,000 square foot warehouse packed full of your karting needs. Burris Racing, winning races and made in America.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to segment number 2 of the Racer's Edge. It is now about 7:14, 13, what have you. So like I said, before we went to break, we're going to talk about Saturday down there in good old Kentucky at the Soki Series race at J&M Motorsports Park. And on the phone with me right now, I have your Junior Pro winner, Trey Settles. What's going on, Trey?
Nothing much. About you?
Just trying to survive up here in old Pennsylvania, because all we seem to get is rain every day. So, what happened down there at J&M? I know you had a hectic week with your dad in hospital, and then he gets out of the hospital, boogies to the racetrack. Explain to me your week and how your week went, and just the mental preparation with your dad not being here when he laid up in a hospital.
Well, I think it was Monday is whenever he went into the hospital, and then we had arguments all week about who's going to get the carts ready and who's going to get everything ready. So me and my grandpa are the ones that got everything ready. So Friday, he got out of the hospital. Saturday, I had 2 baseball games in Brandenburg, and I got back about 30 minutes or about an hour and a half before hot laps. So I got home. Dad was waiting for me in the truck. I got changed, and we headed off to the track.
Man, I'll tell you right now, the stuff that, your week was, a week that you definitely don't want to have, especially with your dad being sidelined and then with everything going on with, your guys' racetrack at Bourbon City. You show up at J&M. I know they had some rain issues there as well. You go out there in junior restricted, I think they call it, and I think you had a top 3 in that one, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe top 5.
Yes, third in junior 3.
And then you went out, got off the racetrack, made some adjustments, went out, and then you won junior pro. How awesome is that, dude? After the week that you had,
I didn't even know what to say after I come off the track.
Well, I guarantee your dad probably felt way better.
Yeah, he's real excited.
Oh, I'm sure. You've been having a good year, man. You've been pretty consistent. I know you picked up a big win earlier in the year. I forget where it was at. I was even talking to your dad about it. But you picked up one there. You've been competitive everywhere you go to. So in order for you to be competitive and do what you're doing, who do you want to thank, especially for last week?
Well, mostly who I want to thank is Brandon Young. He's the one that makes me go everywhere and be competitive. Carl Young also for the amazing motors, best motors I've ever been on, the Excalibur. I want to thank Dad, my grandpa, my grandma for everything they do, my stepmom, my mom, my I can't think of nobody else right now.
That's all right, man. It's understandable, but man, well, it was nice to see that you actually pulled that off. And again, I was texting your dad while he was laid up in the hospital, and I'm sure knowing going into Saturday that you were in some pretty good hands. If he wouldn't have been able to make it to the racetrack, with him getting there and making it pretty sweet. But where does that put you now? I haven't looked at the points if they're updated or not. Does that put you in close to the championship now or no?
I'm in the lead for pro right now. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure I am. But we have to throw out one race in the series, so I don't know what that's going to do for us.
Now your next race is the of the Soki series. That's what, next weekend?
It's the weekend after this weekend. So yeah, next weekend.
Yeah. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I seen it was at Bear Patch.
Yep.
What is your what are your goals for the rest of 2016?
Do the best I can. And I want to. My main goal is to end up in the insane one. Just make that race. See what I can do in that one. That's pretty much what every racer in the country is leading up to. So that's my main goal. End up just in that race.
Well, you got 2 races, about 3 big races before that. You got the one on July 4th at SEMA, which is kind of probably going to be like your insane one tune-up, and then you have the Midwest Race of Champions, and you have your guys' Bourbon City Bash, which I will see you at both of them. And then you'll have like a break or so over there, and then you'll have the insane 1 month there in September. So you got plenty of opportunity to build momentum into a race of that caliber. So